In a world where empires rose and fell by the sword, where nations were ruled through fear and armies, there came a man who carried no weapon, no guns, no army, no wealth, just truth and courage. His name was Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. But the world remembers him as Mahatma Gandhi, the great soul. This is the story of how one man, armed only with nonviolence, shook the greatest empire of his time, and proved that real strength is not found in fists, but in the spirit of peace. Gandhi was born in 1869 in Porbandar, a small coastal town in India. He was shy, quiet, and far from the picture of a revolutionary. As a boy, he feared the dark, hated speaking in public, and struggled to find confidence. But behind this timid child was a seed of conscience and justice, that would grow into one of the most powerful movements in human history. In his early adulthood, Gandhi moved to South Africa to work as a lawyer. It was there that he faced blatant racism. One day, while traveling on a train, Gandhi, despite holding a first-class ticket, was thrown out of his compartment simply because he was Indian. He sat shivering on the station platform that night, humiliated and enraged. But instead of giving in to hatred, Gandhi made a decision that would shape the rest of his life. They can oppress my body, but they cannot take my dignity unless I surrender it. That night, the seed of resistance, peaceful but unshakable, was born. Gandhi called his philosophy satyagraha, meaning truth force or soul force. The idea was simple yet revolutionary: resist injustice, but never with violence. Stand firm with truth, courage, and love, even in the face of brutality. This was not weakness. It was the highest form of strength. Soon, Gandhi began organizing Indians in South Africa to protest unjust laws. They marched peacefully, refused to comply with racist policies, and endured beatings without striking back. And the world began to notice. In 1915, Gandhi returned to India. His homeland was under British colonial rule, where millions lived in poverty, overtaxed and oppressed. But Gandhi did not call for war. He called for something far more powerful: non-cooperation. He urged Indians to boycott British goods, refuse unjust taxes, spin their own clothes instead of buying imported fabric, and peacefully march against oppression. At first, many doubted him. How could spinning cloth and refusing to fight defeat the mighty British Empire? But Gandhi understood something profound. When the oppressed withdraw their cooperation, the oppressor loses power. In 1930, Gandhi led one of the most iconic acts of peaceful resistance in history, the Salt March. At the time, the British had a monopoly on salt. They taxed it heavily, even though it was a basic necessity of life. Gandhi declared this unjust and decided to act. With nothing but his walking stick, he marched 240 miles on foot, joined by thousands, to the Arabian Sea. There, he bent down, scooped up a pinch of salt from the shore, and declared India's independence from unjust rule. That small act, a pinch of salt, sparked a revolution. Millions across India joined the movement. The British responded with arrests, beatings, and jailings, but Gandhi's philosophy spread like wildfire. We will not raise a hand in violence, but we will never obey injustice. Gandhi was imprisoned multiple times. He fasted for weeks, sometimes on the brink of death, to protest violence and injustice. But the more the British tried to silence him, the louder his message became. He once said, "In a gentle way, you can shake the world." And he did. By the 1940s, the British Empire was crumbling under the weight of peaceful resistance, global pressure, and the unshakable unity Gandhi had inspired. Finally, in 1947, India gained its independence. Gandhi's dream had become reality. Gandhi never became India's president or prime minister. He never sought titles or crowns. His power lay in his moral authority, his ability to awaken the conscience of millions. His philosophy inspired leaders across the world. Martin Luther King Jr. in America, Nelson Mandela in South Africa, they all carried Gandhi's torch of nonviolence. But Gandhi's greatest lesson was this: violence can win battles, but only peace can win hearts. And only truth can win freedom. Mahatma Gandhi's life reminds us that true strength is not found in domination, but in discipline. It takes far more courage to endure a beating without striking back than to throw the punch. It takes far more strength to forgive than to hate. And in a world still divided by conflict, his story whispers a timeless truth: humanity's greatest weapon is not destruction, but compassion. Ask yourself today, what injustice are you facing? What battles do you fight in your life, at work, at home, in your heart? Gandhi's story challenges us not to fight fire with fire, but to meet hate with peace, and fear with truth. You may not be leading a nation, but you are leading your own life. And in your own world. Your actions, peaceful, patient, and principled, can spark change. Remember Gandhi's words. Be the change that you wish to see in the world. So don't wait for the world to change. Don't wait for leaders or heroes. Start with yourself. Live with truth. Stand with courage. Lead with love. Because just like Gandhi, you may one day look back and realize, your quiet, nonviolent choices shook the world.